Hello, hello. Can you hear me? All right. Welcome to the Saturday morning live stream here at Garden Like a Viking, Zone 5B 6A, Northern Indiana. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year, Evil Roy Slade. Happy New Year to you as well, Lori Sparkles. I'm starting the Master Cleanse tomorrow. Yes, I saw that. And do not fear, my friend. You will not have the same reaction. This is going to be the Master Cleanse is ideal for reducing the inflammation. And so you will see. So I hope that the most important thing with the Master Cleanse, Lori, is that you set the intention, and no matter hell or high water, no matter what, you will accomplish this. 10 days. And if you set that intention, the rest is going to be relatively easy. And I'm excited for you. People's First Master Cleanse, and Jerry and other people, by now hundreds of people that I've worked with have had amazing first experiences with the Master Cleanse, to what their body can do, afterwards. And their relationship with food can change entirely. So it's awesome. Miss KC says as well, I'm starting the Master Cleanse tomorrow too. We'll have to check in next week about how we feel. Yes, absolutely. And guys, on my Nate Murray channel, you can ask questions in the comments there. And on any of I got like 5 or 10 Master Cleanse videos where I walk you through the whole thing. So if you want to put questions in there, I respond to them, relatively soon. So really good. So Ms. P, hello, good, Happy New Year from Virginia. She says, with love from Virginia, hello. And Nick the Gardener, good evening, Nate, love from England. Yes, I saw your plot, man, pretty cool, definitely. And I think that you're doing all the right things, Nick. And in the coming, however long you're going to be the steward of that land is very lucky, because you're starting the right way right off the bat with the natural stuff, making your own things, very conscious of the microbiology, understanding that it's the microbiology that is actually doing the work. It is not us. We're not growing anything. The plants grow themselves. The microbiology takes care of itself. All we can do is ensure that all of the elements are appropriate and there when the organism wants it. And we do that by all the methods on this channel. So, good morning, Ingrid. Good morning to you. Bubbles on my J-Dom today. Okay, Nick, so you did start the J-Dom. Good. Now, I don't know if we've talked about this, but I'm going to make a video pretty soon about how to make the J-Dom microbial solution during the winter. Because that is a slightly different method. Because we have to, if the temperature is below 68 degrees Fahrenheit, it doesn't brew that effectively. I mean, it still can down to like 65, but below that, the microorganism activity is so slow that it doesn't really work properly. And so we have to add heat to bring it up to at least 68, preferably right about 70. So I'll make a video on that in the coming days, because now, if you can make it inside with there's 2 methods I'll be showing you guys. One is with an aquarium heater, just a little, just cheapo 10-gallon aquarium heater that you can set the temperature, put it into the bucket. The other one is with the heating mat that we use for the seed starting and all of that. Hello, good morning, Crystal, my friend. And so with utilizing those 2 methods and a couple of other specifications, then we will be able to make some full strength buckets of the J-Dom to add to the garden over the winter time. All right, so it's really good. Nick says, it's in my kitchen by the radiator, about 60 at night, 70 by the day. That's good enough. That'll work. That'll work. Let's see. Austin says, I'm surprised how short of a window my yellow oyster mushrooms remained in an acceptable condition. Oh yeah. Once they start to fruit, or are you talking about after you harvest them and put them in the refrigerator? Because they pretty much need to be used straight up, straight up. That's why it's good to make several buckets and stagger them. Even though you'll get 2, maybe 3 flushes from each bucket. But yeah, look, my blue oysters, just last night, got the first harvest off the blue oysters, and they are looking pretty good. They're real stout, man. These ones are real nice and stout. And so I'm going to be eating these tonight. I fry them in a frying pan with no oil or anything until they start to reduce. And I squeeze out the water from them. And then once they start to brown a little bit with no oil or anything in the pan, then I will add the butter, the raw butter. I know I cooked the raw butter, but still. I'll add the butter and then the sea salt and then a few more minutes. So about 20 minutes in total with these blue oysters, with the yellow oysters. Any of the oysters are going to be the same. But this, man, if you guys could feel this, it's so dense. It's just crazy. So, yeah, got that good mushroom smell. And this is just one. There's about 8 of these growing on the bucket right now. So I want to hear your success stories if you guys have had, because some of you guys are not having that great of success with the mushrooms. But that's okay. Do not despair, my friends, because it is a learning journey. And so you get them this year and you might see that maybe you got contamination. Maybe the green mold moved in. And that's because you didn't sterilize it right, or you didn't have quite the right cleanliness, in the area. Or maybe you have mold spores around that you're not aware of. So it's okay though. You will be able to accomplish it if you just stay steadfast. I guarantee it. And then next year, because I've inoculated all the buckets I'm going to be inoculating for this year. And then we'll have about 2 more months of mushroom harvesting and eating from those. And then next year we'll do some more and a little bit more in depth and stuff, So we'll refine it as we go along. Let's see. Austin says, those are gorgeous mushrooms. Maybe I needed to harvest at peak and then keep in refrigerator until used. I had great success with lion's mane and plan to grow more of it. Oh, absolutely, man. I got 4 buckets of lion's mane colonizing right now on 4 different substrates. I'm experimenting for you guys. I'm doing all different kinds of stuff because I'm trying to come up with the simplest possible yet effective method, because sterilizing in the pressure cooker and all of that kind of stuff is way too much for a lot of people. So I'm just trying to make it real simplified. Llewellyn Hackle, Happy New Year from Michigan. Hello, my friend. I'm in Indiana. Val said, I've had 3 flushes from the lion's mane. Been fairly cold, so the oyster may take longer. Nice. 3 flushes and still going? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you guys look at my Instagram account, I've put a couple of pictures. There was a couple of the lion's mane I had that were like perfect snowball. I mean, just perfect with the shag and everything like that. It was really nice. Let's see here. Lacolia Alford. It says, best gardener on YouTube. I was going to give up until I came to your channel. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you for the positive energy and feedback, my friend. Let's see. Lonnie says, okay, wait, what was Lonnie said? Oh, Diamitri Saraswati. Happy New Year from Australia. Happy New Year from USA. Rose, I just bought some fresh fish. I was low on my fish fertilizer, but it's been sitting there almost a year now. I don't know if I should stir it. You can stir it, but it's not going to matter all that much. So if it's been sitting there almost a year now, then you can definitely skim off of it. I mean, you can definitely start utilizing it for sure. So you can skim, and once it gets about halfway, you can add some more water, maybe add some more fish, stuff like that. So, because it's all happening right now. It's... okay, Lonnie says, Jeffrey Robinson says, Happy New Year from the Bronx, New York City. Enjoy life. Good advice, my friend. Let's see. Rose said, I was going to add a fish. Should I open it in the house? No, you should not open it in the house. Guys, if you've opened it in the house, let Rose know if she should open the fish fertilizer bucket in the house or not. No. Unless you like that smell, So, Happy New Year, Joe Peduzzi says, Happy New Year from Long Island, New York. Was 15 degrees 3 days ago. It's 55 degrees today. I know, it's crazy. You know what happened to me yesterday? Well, yesterday morning I woke up and in the basement was 2 inches of water all over the whole basement. What? So I started pumping it out with the submersible pump that I used to fertilize everything, and it went away throughout the day, but then it started raining real heavy last night, and 4 inches of water just gushing into the basement. Things were floating and all of that, all the stuff. Oh man, it was pretty bad, but I did not despair because it will get taken care of. I mean, right now, it's still sort of like that. So, my dad's coming over and we're going to do a little bit of stuff here in a minute or in a little bit. So this one's not going to be a super long one because I got like major plumbing or something happening downstairs, but it's okay. Let's see here. Ms. T, hello, my friend. Greetings, Mr. Lion Friend. Sending high vibrations and strong positive energy. Hope all things are well and going into another year. Peace and blessings. Thank you, my friend. Let us all send positive energy to Ms. T as well. Unpopular Truth says, open it in the house, oh my. Yes, I know. Let's see. Patricia Cordier says, Happy New Year. Do you have a video on winter sowing in milk jugs? Not yet, but I will. I will. It's not time yet. We don't need to winter sow yet. But see, the thing about winter sowing is it's ideal if you don't have an indoor setup and if you want things that are already acclimated to the outside environment. It does produce much hardier things, but you won't be able to start them up or grow them as big. So that's the trade-off. Because winter sowing is essentially, and many seeds can do this, and I'll make a video on it, but you will sow them, plant them in the milk jugs, tape up the milk jug, and set it outside. And the seed will know when the time is right for it to sprout, based upon things we can't even comprehend. The seed knows exactly when the right time to sprout is so that it will not die. So it can sense sort of when the frosts are ending and when the super cold is ending. And so you end up with much hardier plants, but they don't sprout that much earlier than if you just planted them outside. You see what I'm saying? I mean, a few weeks, maybe a month at the most. But if you want to like plant out things that are like big already, like cabbages or collard greens, because you want to get them growing, you're going to want to start them inside. So let's see here. I know that there was a question here. And has anybody had success using grow light bulbs to grow indoors? Of course. Yes, very much so. Let's see. Someone says something about, okay, Tushi G says, I started sprouts and microgreens for first time. Question, how do I know when it's time to move them from dark to sun? They're about 3/4 of an inch tall now and looking good. So with the microgreens, then the sprouts are separate, but the microgreens, you can add the weight for about 2 days, and then you can take the weight off and put them in the darkness for about 2 more days, and then uncover. So you don't want them in there too long, though. You don't want more than like, because if they start getting too long and leggy, if yours are 3/4 of an inch tall, go ahead and take it off. If they've been 2 days in the blackout after 2 days of weight, then I would say it's fine, pretty much across the board. Because you don't want them to start getting too lanky. I mean, they need that solar energy. So go ahead and take it off and give them some, okay? Let's see. Dank Dude Smokes a Lot. Is that your real name? I love your pointers on organic gardening. Happy New Year. All right. Same to you, my friend. Yeah, what do you guys think about the handles they're rolling out handles now on the YouTube comments and stuff? I think it's absolutely absurd, and I'm upset about it in the sense that I like when someone leaves a comment, you can tell if they're like an actual channel, if they've got skin in the game. You know what I mean? Like someone like Ingrid's Kitchen Garden, I can tell, okay, that's like someone's channel, or Successful Rachel at Successful Garden Design. I can tell that's someone's channel. So they've got a bit of skin in the game maybe, or they understand what it takes to do, or Nick the Gardener, right? They understand what it takes to make videos, and they're just a fellow YouTuber, and you can tell a lot just by the name. But then some people are just like some blah, 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 some, silly little name, and that's fine, but they want to be like anonymous. And that's fine. They don't have any content on their channel. They don't have any skin in the game. They just observe, and that's fine. But I like to know, when I'm reading comments and stuff, this distinction. And so the handles now are just everyone is some silly little name with numbers behind it. So you have no way of telling anymore. Like, okay, is this a legitimate? It's just different. A comment from a YouTuber and a comment from someone who has no content. Just because of the way that they understand things. So that's my rant about that. I'm going to let YouTube know, though. And I'd never give negative reviews unless I really am negative about something, which is not often. But the handles, I don't like it. So Let's see here. Joe Price, Happy New Year. Question about inoculating rice hulls for bokashi. I have mixed them with water, molasses, and EM1. How do I know when they are ready to add food scraps? Thanks. As of yet, I am not experienced with bokashi, so if anyone can tell him, then you can let him know. Because the only time that I would recommend bokashi, I mean, I've been a part of it and stuff, but I haven't like done it to where I can give confident advice. The only time that I'd really recommend bokashi is if you're like in a New York City apartment or something and you have no place, you have no access to the earth as far as you can't have a compost pile or something. And so because anywhere else, I would recommend strongly a compost pile. Compost it, you need the biology of the earth. So the bokashi could work if you're really secluded from the earth, then it could work. You know, I've recommended it. Let's see here. I spread 3 inches. Wait, Unpopular Truth says, I've never heard of any of those people. Well, the people that I was mentioning, those are just you guys. Those are fellow people that are commenting on this channel. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like big YouTube names or anything. Educating humanity. I'm an organic gardener preaching the truth about all of humanity. No more lies. That's a nice philosophy, my friend. Numbers have appeared behind my channel name. Right, yeah, and they will now. That's what the handles are. So, let's see. And I watch your videos on eating sprout, and it gave me the idea of a dish to cook with king oyster mushrooms I'm growing right now. It uses broccoli sprouts. That sounds pretty good. That's going to be tasty. Hands Ketchup says, why not directly plant and cover with a milk jug? Because it is the milk jug in the winter sowing method is going to be like a greenhouse. You will see that if it's in the ground, it's subject to the frozen earth that is all around it. And so being in the, it's a lot more sensitive to temperature fluctuations and stuff. So we want to sow the jugs and then set them outside. You will see. Yes, Successful Garden Design says you can change your YouTube handle name and get rid of the numbers. Right, yes, and I did. Get rid of that, but I still feel like it's still just generic. It makes everything seems really generic to me. I'm sure I'll get used to it. You know, it's all conditioning, of course. They just have to train me right. Nick says, I'm no number. I'm a human of flesh and blood. That's right, my friend. My handle is water is gold. Oh, that's pretty good. And so let's see. Thanks, Nate. Great, truthful, and unbiased education. You're very welcome, my friend. Rose says, I would like to know, do I need to add more molasses to my fish fertilizer? I'm going to open it up outside. Thank you. Okay, so you have the fish hydrolysate then, because we don't add molasses to the JDOM one. So if you're adding molasses, it changes everything. So you don't need to wait a year. That's like 2-3 weeks because it speeds up everything big time. So, yeah, but you probably, whenever you add more fish, but the hydrolysate you make in a different way. The hydrolysate is so we can have it fast, and we blend up or we grind up the fish as much as possible, and then we mix with the molasses. And then we have to add the enzyme. The enzyme is the most important thing. That's what makes it the hydrolysate. The enzyme being the lactic acid bacteria. So we add that, drops it down, and ferments it like we want it to. Okay, Rose says, okay, I made both. Oh, good. The one that you told me to wait a year is the one I'm talking about. I don't know their name, sorry. Okay, the one with the leaf mold is the JDOM fish fertilizer. The one with the molasses and the labs, the lactic acid bacteria, that is the fish hydrolysate. All right. Let's see here, Ms. P. Why would soil in jugs hold temperature better than in the ground? They don't hold temperature better than in the ground. It's that the ground would hold the freezing temperature much better than the little jug will warm up much faster than the ground. Because the ground, if you're going to plant them in the ground and just put a milk jug over it, you might as well just kind of plant them in the ground, because the milk jug is not going to do much because all the earth around them is going to be frozen still. And that's, you see what I'm saying? But try it both ways. In fact, then you will know for sure. But I have done in the past, like cloches kind of things. But the winter sowing is pretty good. For cold hardy things is my favorite. So, but then I will still sometimes like to grow them up. So, let's say Peter Aubrey says, hello, I just wanted to say thank you for the beef tallow video. I have a friend who is a butcher, and last night he gave me 2 kg of grass-fed beef or grass-fed suet. It's currently in a pot on my stove rendering down. Nice. He says, I've recently had a major health crisis, kidney failure, and removing vegetable juice from diet and adding in tallow is going to be very beneficial. That is right, my friend. And it is a super beneficial oil. And for those of you that butcher your own cows, I'm sure you already knew about the tallow, but definitely, and utilize the nice soft fat that is surrounding the kidneys. You can make it from other fat, from other fat, strips of fat and things like that from the steaks and all of that, but it's not the same. The soft, buttery fat from around the kidneys is the best. And so we will make this, I get it from my Amish friends, like I said in the video. And guys, just a thing about cholesterol. I don't know if you know this, but hopefully you do, that the way that we grew up and that we were told, my generation and stuff, is that dietary cholesterol, eating cholesterol raises your cholesterol and it's bad for you. So we have to stay away from it. So instead we have to eat all of these hydrogenated plant oils and seed oils instead, because that's healthier. But that is absolute nonsense. And our body needs cholesterol, dietary cholesterol. And contrary to popular belief, dietary cholesterol has almost no effect on blood cholesterol. If you have high LDL, the high blood cholesterol, that is because the mechanism within your body that regulates your blood cholesterol is malfunctioning. And it's malfunctioning, in my opinion, due to toxemia, which is the buildup of toxins in the body. And so your body cannot regulate its cholesterol. So eating cholesterol, especially high quality stuff, is super good for us, especially for men, because cholesterol and saturated fat are required for the production of hormones, the production and regulation of hormones, men and women, but in particular men, because it's a precursor to testosterone, which the man, you want testosterone in your life. Not the egoic machismo kind of testosterone, but real testosterone that makes you the man. The kindness and the generosity from your heart and the desire to protect and to nurture, these kind of things. These are all, signs of a man. And so we need stuff like that in our life, is what I'm saying, is that we don't need to fear this stuff like we've been told to, okay? Because there's nothing to fear about it. And the brain is 60% fat, and half of that fat is saturated fat. And so the saturated fat is also utilized in the membrane of the cell. So cell structure, okay? So many good things. I could go on and on, but I would just want to keep it short. This isn't a nutrition class, although, it could be. So Mish, yes, thank you, my friend. $50. Good to see you again. You are always so kind. I appreciate the gift, my friend. And man, look, all of a sudden. Alberto, $4.99. Thank you very much, my friend. You guys are awesome, man. Ms. P, $4.99. Thank you. Your energy and knowledge is super good for us, too. You are very welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Rose Halpin, $10. Thank you, guys. Look at this. Real fast outpouring. I appreciate you guys. So hopefully that means that you appreciate this kind of knowledge, because I think it's very important. And I think that realizing that we have been sort of misled over the years, especially when it comes to things like what we put in our body, like this ancient time-honored tallow that is super good for the body. Instead, we've been directed to eat things that were actually like an industrial sludge byproduct. And they said, well, what are we going to do with it? Well, hey, let's start a campaign and say that it's super healthy for us. And we'll demonize all the other natural fats that people have been using for thousands and thousands of years. Let's just demonize all of that. And let's start a campaign, because we own all the American Heart Association. We own all these places. So let's just push this campaign and say that canola oil is so healthy for us. Yeah. And all these other oils that we have as a byproduct from our industry, but we up till now, we haven't had a use for them. So now we do have a use for them. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You see, this is exactly how it happens. Make no mistake. The people, like, they have zero concern for your health whatsoever. It's a business. It is a business. And those type of business people are ruthless. I mean, in the sense of, you are just a consumer. You are a number. It doesn't matter. What your health is not their objective. So your health has to be your objective, and mine, and ours. So there you go. Diametri, yeah, ghee is yummy as well. Yes, especially if you make it yourself. Man, if you guys got a cow, be making the ghee. The clarified butter is also wonderful because it's so shelf stable. Although just straight up butter is awesome as well, you know. Haynes Ketchup, thanks for answering my question. $1.99. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the tip. And Pam, hello. Hello, Nate. Hello to all you wonderful gardeners. G4G says, Happy New Year, Nate. May 2023 be your best year so far of many best years to come. That is fantastic. I wish that for you as well, my friend, and everybody listening right now. The new year is what you will make it. If it's going to be the best year ever for me, it's got a lot to live up to, man, because I've really had some good ones. So absolutely, I wish the same for all of you guys. And Chicka Boom, what about ghee? Yes, I just said about ghee is very, very good for you. Nick the Gardener, margarine. Yeah, margarine is poison. It's poison. And there's no need to switch from healthy things like real butter and tallow. Unpopular truth, Link Wayne. Oh, Link Wayne's in the talk? Where? Let's see. Rose says, we support you wanting to get that big garden. Yes, my friend, I cannot wait for the land. The land. I don't know yet where or how, but I just feel within a handful of years, a few years or something, it will be here. Because then I will really expand into a lot of things. Things that I have, knowledge about and some experience with, but I'm going to dive way deeper into as far as grass-fed beef and the chickens and the hogs, all that stuff. It will be crazy. I mean, immediately. You will see. And I will take you guys along for all of it. Mish says, Happy New Year, Nate. I'm brewing 35 gallons of JMS with an aquarium heater as we speak. All right. And you're going to add those to those awesome looking beds that I see that you have. And that's going to be ideal. You can do that a couple of times throughout the season, and they're going to really like it. All right. And let's see. Unpopular truth. Yes, your energy is like a drink of fresh water. Oh, that's a very beautiful. Thank you, my friend. That is beautiful. Let's see. Link says, Jesus said you can't serve God and money. And that is absolutely right. That's right. Yeah. You can have both, but you can't serve. No, there's only the one. Yes. And let's see. I hope you do get your land, Nate. I look forward to joining you there. Yes, my friend. I'm going to take you guys along for all of that stuff. And I think I'll probably end up doing it on this channel. I've been thinking about that too, because at some point I'm just going to have to make the jump and do it and just, trust it. I mean, of course, that it's all going to work out like I do everything in my life. That's how I've traveled the world and everything. You just do it. You just go and don't worry about, it. And it always works out. It just always works out. I mean, I'm still here. So, yeah. And I'll probably do it on this channel. I don't know if I'll start another channel about it, but I'll take you guys through the whole thing from like, okay, we got this raw piece of land, which is just woods. It's going to be mostly woods, hopefully. And from there out, starting the whole thing. Let's see. And Ms. KC, $1.99. Thank you. Thank you for the positive energy and heartfelt advice. Absolutely, my friend. And good luck with the cleanse. Make sure you let me know if you have any issues, but just make that commitment. True. Rose says, true, that bring on the land, I bet it's going to be awesome. Yes, it will be. So let's see if we have a few of the other. Haynes says, if you wrap butter in margarine, the birds will eat the butter and leave the margarine. Ha! Yeah, because margarine is like one molecule away from like plastic. It's an absolute joke. Oh, look, another person is texting me. Well, a friend of my brother's girlfriend is saying, please share all of your Master Cleanse knowledge with us today. I am serious about doing it. And my brother, he will be there for emotional support. My brother's not into doing really extreme stuff. like I am. My brother's like the opposite. He's like an air traffic controller. Well, he is an air traffic controller, and he was in the military and stuff like that. So totally polar opposite, yet the same in the heart, of course. HLFM says, in what climate are you working? Climate, Northern Indiana, Zone 5B, 6A. We are actually in a really good area for growing things. We have a full 4 seasons. It's not like some places where you have the rainy season and the dry season, which is also awesome. When I lived in Northern California, that was beautiful. But here we have blazing hot, humid summers, nice fall most of the time, especially this year. A good amount of cold during the wintertime. I mean, some brutal cold and some, deep snow sometimes. And then a good long spring. So we have, it's pretty good actually. And we have enough rain typically that you don't have to irrigate the crops, except for last year. It went like 2 months where it didn't rain a drop and it was blazing hot. Let's see. Link says, may that land come to you soon, bro. We can't wait. Yes, my friends. And once it gets established and everything like that, it will be a place you can physically come. Because I'm all about that as well. The in-person, the energy. Like imagine, so the energy that we have over this medium, imagine in person, as I know, will be 10 times stronger, which is wonderful. We resonate on the same vibrational frequency. Yeah. So let's see here. And that's my successful garden design says that's my dream too. Land with a large woodland. Yes, land with a large woodland because I really got into using the wood for everything. Because in Northern California we had 220 acres that was and with just tons of woods everywhere. And so when we wanted to clear out space for the greenhouses and all this stuff, we just dropped the trees. And so we had this infinite building supplies. We used an Alaskan mill, with the chainsaw, and we were just rough hewing all these boards. So whatever we wanted to build, we just rough hew some of the boards, and it was just wonderful. Successful design says Nate's Garden School will be wonderful. Yes, it will be. And I'm thinking, you know what the name of it's going to be? Valhalla. It's fitting. It's fitting. And Rose says, I'm in Huntsville, Indiana, next to you. Monster, Indiana by Griffith. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Well, I'm in Fort Wayne. Let's see. Was there a... And let's see here. So the couple of other things. You guys have asked a couple of times about the kimchi. You said, okay, because if you look on the internet, a lot of times the places on the internet, the people will say, okay, you ferment it for 2 days. And then you put it into the fridge, or for 5 days, and then you have to put it into the refrigerator because it will spoil. I'm here to tell you, though, based upon my experience, which is vast, that you do not need to. This I just bottled maybe 2 days ago, and it spent 6 weeks just in the basement, and it's perfectly fine. No refrigeration whatsoever. And the only reason that I put it in the refrigerator is because I like that coldness, and it kind of mellows out the tang when you put it in the refrigerator. But you don't have to. So all that stuff on the internet says, well, 2 days and then put it in the fridge. You don't have to do that. Okay. This was designed by the ancients thousands of years ago as a method of food preservation before the refrigerator. And so it can sit shelf stable so long as your house is not hot, blazing hot. I mean, like I said, my basement's like 55 degrees pretty much all the time, So, 6 weeks, no problem. It's super delicious, bursting with life. And I eat that on on so many different things. And it just adds that tang and that life that is going to be really important to our gut microbiome. Okay. And let's see. Dimitri says, love Valhalla for your land. Yes, that's what I'm liking it too. Jacob says, I'm in the Appalachian Mountains. Beautiful. Aaron says, can be your course business name. Valhalla Growing instead of Valhalla Rising. That's pretty good. Valhalla Growing. That's pretty good. That's got a good ring to it. What do you guys think? I like that. So, let's see. Chad says, do you recommend taking a dose of ivermectin twice a year because our hands are in the soil all the time? I do not have enough knowledge on that topic to be able to say for sure either way. Because our hands are in the soil, are in the soil all the time. Oops. I would say no. There's absolutely no need because your hands are in the soil, and that's going to help to your body to give the microorganisms. And that's really what you want. And so have no fear. The hands in the soil is awesome. Okay, and the energy will absorb some of the charge in the body. Okay, it grounds you physically. I won't get into it too deep here, but it grounds you. Ms. T, 1999, thank you very much, my friend. She says, you are amazing. You are amazing as well, my friend. I appreciate your presence across both of these channels. So, Aaron says, what's your name, mate? I have watched a darn lot of your videos. I've never caught it. My name is Nate Muri, and that's my other channel name, Nate Muri, M-U-R-I. Actually, my name is Nathaniel, so that's what that is. Caroline, hello, my friend. Wishing you, your family, and the garden a most prosperous new year 2023. Yes, my friend, we already know it's going to be a very prosperous year. It's just going to be because nature never fails in the sense that the microorganisms are all at work. The garden's all tucked in with all the good stuff, and all the energy is there. Everything is right. And so it's going to be a good year. You can just tell. You don't even have to wonder. Rosa Arias says, you are going to make your Valhalla land so beautiful. I'm looking forward to the videos. Do it. Yes, absolutely. And the type of house is going to be earth berm. Not in the sense, I've seen this done a number of times on the West Coast, and this is how I know that it works. And there you build, there's a company that does this with the shotcrete, but you essentially build some domes, and then you dig a pond and cover the domes with the earth from the pond. And it insulates everything with the skylights and stuff. I would have to show you an exact, I've got everything right here in the mind. It's all right there ready to go. And there's a company that does it. And so that is exactly what I would do. All the buildings would be semi-underground buildings. So it would virtually eliminate the heating and cooling costs, and everything would be wood-fired as well. And on the south side of the dwelling is a greenhouse, of course, that can go into the house. That sort of shares the same space with the house. All of it is already right here in the mind. So let's see. I'd rather call you Nathaniel than Nate. Absolutely, not a problem. That is Nathaniel. You know, it's a strong name. I like it. And when I was young, I used to call myself Nathaniel the Red because I was really into the Viking heritage that my family has. And so, yeah, you can call me that if you like. Let's see. Mish says, if you have illness or concerns about parasites, you may want to check out Dr. Lee Merritt at the Medical Rebel for Parasite Protocol. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Mish. Dr. Lee Merritt at the Medical Rebel for Parasite Protocol. That sounds pretty cool. Let's see. Will carrots sprout through pine needle mulch? It depends. Not really, man. Carrots are so delicate. Carrots are delicate beyond belief. I mean, the slightest little and they're done. They're just broken. Okay, so I don't think that... Maybe, though, maybe. The best way for carrots is to plant them and then plant them in rows or in, however you want to do it, but then put the board over them. Put a piece of wood over them for a few days, 4, 5, 6 days until they start to sprout. Maybe even a week, depending on the temperature and stuff, to maintain that moisture, to keep the ultraviolet off of them and stuff like that. So you want to keep them, they're real delicate, and they can't push up through hardly anything. So I would say no. And Link says, that's it, living in the earth. That's right, absolutely, man. That is the way. And it just energetically feels that way, That's the way of the Vikings as well, to use the earth because it's the best insulator and there's so much of it. And it burns me when I come here, because of situations. I'm here, and so I come here and we have like forced air heat. And this house is like 100 years old, and so it's like when the wind blows, it's like an old wooden pirate ship, and you can hear the windows rattling and everything. And just you put your hand up around the windows, just gushing in. It's like a deep freeze, an Arctic blast coming through every window. And so the furnace is just blowing, hot air all over the place. It's like, man, this is absurd. That we've designed our houses in this way when it doesn't have to be. We can do it in the earth and virtually eliminate the heating and cooling. But anyways, let's see. Thanks. I really appreciate it. I'm very new to gardening, but I love it. All right. Well, you're in the right place, my friend. And what are you going to do? When are you going to do mushroom fruiting video? Well, let's see. I thought I kind of did one. How to inoculate and fruit them. Well, yeah, the mushroom fruiting video, but see, in the first one, in the second one, you established your fruiting chamber. And then in the third one, you inoculated the buckets. And then after 4 weeks, you take the tape off and put them into the fruiting chamber. And that's virtually all that you have to do. And then they will grow by themselves. I might do because the mushroom videos got slaughtered as far as the performance, because they're such a specialized thing. And I can't be making too many videos that just totally flop like that. It's not good for like growing the channel. But that being said, if you guys need the knowledge, I can give it to you. But it's then they will just grow like this. So really, it's just after 4 weeks, you just take the stuff off and put them into the fruiting chamber. And then within a week or two, they will grow like this. And you pull them off when they're right about this right time. These things, if you could feel this, it's so dense and so heavy. These are just real thick and stout. These are blue oysters. Yes? Like the Blue Oyster Cult. Some of you might remember that group. The Cowbell group. Okay, so gardening for 30 years. I'm going for my master garden this year, 2023. It's going to be a great year. Oh, nice. Master garden. What does that really mean? You're going to have a masterful garden, or you're going to get like a certification of a master gardening course. Let's see. Nate, have you seen some of that crazy stuff they do with Inkbird CO2 controllers for mushroom cultivation? Yes, I have. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And the CO2 manipulation, well, the oxygen manipulation. One way that you can, if you're like growing them, if you're growing a certain type of mushroom that has more like magical properties to it, we would say, you can blast the fruiting chamber with pure O2, a bottle of pure oxygen, and that really, they'll swell up and get them real thick, fat blue stem. It's just crazy. So, okay, certificate. So you're going to get an actual through Rutgers. That's cool. Let's see. Maggie says, you're not that old to remember Blue Oyster Cult. Well, I remember my dad playing the music, so I remember it. But no, I'm not old enough. I remember about them, though. I remember the Saturday Night Live skit, More Cowbell. I definitely remember that. And so, yeah. Let's see. Makes the blue meanies chunky boys. Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Trish, hello, my friend. Nate, do you have plans on doing anything different with your garden this year, or are you going to follow the same plan as previous years? Oh, tons of different stuff, my friends. It's I'm never remaining stagnant. It's there's things that worked in the past couple of years, and there's things that worked, here in this climate and stuff. But I'm definitely doing some different stuff this year. And you guys will see. In particular, I'm doing a mega deep mulch, almost like a Ruth Stout method of mega deep mulch of leaves. The entire garden is covered in 2 feet of leaves. And because, well, you'll just see. And all these different techniques, I've used in Northern California where I grew for all those years. But here in this climate, things are a little bit different. And so I've been learning over the past handful of years this specific climate. But after this last year and those 2 months of mega drought and heat, there's no way that I'm going to have just a shallow mulch anymore. So there's going to be super deep mulch and you'll see. And this year, I'm not going to be growing so many of the different leafy greens. I mean, because I wasn't able to eat a lot of them last year, you know, and I had to find other things for them. So because they produce so much. And so I'm focusing more this year on the storage stuff, the potatoes. Primarily, there's going to be a lot of potatoes, onions, and garlic outside. And that's going to be, those are my favorite things. I mean, I eat onions and garlic every day with every meal, pretty much. I mean, I only eat once a day, I only cook one meal a day. But I have onions and garlic all the time. Real good, pungent ones. They're awesome. And the potatoes, so delicious, super dense in nutrients. Also the peas. But I'm not talking about like mushy green pea. I'm talking like real English peas, you know, the ones with substance to them. Because I have that pea sheller now. And so I shelled, in like a half hour, I shelled this huge bucket full of peas. And now they're in the freezer. And then so this year I will can them and freeze them because I love the peas. And it can have them all winter. And so, and then the beans as well for drying. I will focus a lot on that. But yeah, a lot of different things. How long should it take cannellini beans to sprout? I'm planning a sprouted hummus. I'm on day 3 and no sprouts yet. Changing water twice daily. Okay, cannellini beans. So you want to be very, very observant, Mish, about the sprout, because like mung beans, which I will make that video when you'll see, but most sprouts we're eating the sprout, the actual part that is growing. But the beans, like the cannellini or the Great Northern or the kidney or the Good Mother Stallard or the Anasazi beans or the any of the other ones that we have, those we actually still eat the bean, and we only do it until the sprout it just starts to appear. So look at the part where you see the little the little I forget the exact name of it, part of the sprout or the part of the bean, and you'll see just a real tiny little tail coming out, real small white tail. And as soon as you see that, it's ready to go. Pretty much just 3 days. If it's at ambient room temperature, pretty much 3 days is plenty. Okay. Link says potatoes, onions, and garlic. That's my goal. Yeah, man. And with a small space, that's what's so good and the garlic is so expensive at the store, and it's not nearly nothing that after you grow like this, man. And you guys know, anything that you get at the store is just subpar because one, it hasn't been grown with the nutrient-rich soil and the bursting microorganisms, the food web that's all happy, you know, and so that directly correlates and translates to more nutrient-dense food, which more minerals directly correlates to more flavor, and the stuff from the store has not been grown with the love. That's primary. So, yeah, Link says, hit the like button. Yes, my friends, let us get some likes. If you haven't already hit the like button, just go ahead and hit that, please. That helps me out. Do that on every video if you would, please, because apparently that is important for the algorithm, you know. The growth of the channel has really slowed down a lot this winter, but that's pretty much to be expected. So, because it's not gardening time in the Northern Hemisphere. So, I expect it to really pick up big time here in the next month or two. But even if it's just you guys, that's still more than enough for me. So it's really cool. I'm glad you guys are here. This tea bag, yeah, this is just another one of the regular tea bags because I don't got a lot of time today because my basement's currently flooding. But spread the light, be the lighthouse. That's pretty good advice. So let's see. Did I miss someone giving a tip? Let's see. Tirza Schmaltz. Happy New Year, Nathaniel. Thank you, my friend. $10. Yes, Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. And let's see here. I need more cowbell. That's right. And I just bought mulch and mulched everything and put in the garden. Good. That's glad that you did. Oh, you bought a mulcher. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. Unpopular truth. I made some garden beds and I'm going to switch a few to square foot gardening. Very cool. I have 12 inches leaves and laid manure in between. Yes, good. That's going to work out really well. But remember, the thing is with the deep mulch, we still plant in the soil. So it's not good to switch to the super deep mulch method if your soil still needs remediated. If you've just taken over some land that has been, abused and ravaged and devastated by industrial agriculture. If you're healing that land, then the super deep mulch method for the first year or two is not going to be ideal. Mulch, yes, but you need to work that soil up more with cover crops and get the JMS in there, get the life back happening in the soil. But then once the soil is thriving, after a couple of years of that, then you can simply do the deep, super deep mulch, because then all we do, but we still have to plant into the soil. That's the thing, is we still have to move it aside and plant into the actual soil. So you have to have good soil to do the super deep mulch. Let's see, Ms. KC, totally unrelated, but I lost a Costco gift card. Can everyone send quick positive vibes so I can find it? Okay, everyone send quick positive vibes. You will find the card, my friend. Okay. And yeah, maybe you could get some organic lemons there. Crystal Jones, $10. Thank you, my friend. Good luck with your basement. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But what can you do? It's like, okay, well, but the main thing is the furnace, and both of my freezers had water, about 4 inches up them. So we'll see. I hope that they're still functioning. But whatever it is, I know I can deal with it. Let's see, Ms. P. Nate, your grow bag instructions for potatoes worked very well for me last year. That's wonderful. I'm glad that they worked for you. They've actually worked for a lot of people. I've got a lot of positive feedback for that, which is not surprising to me, but it's super cool at how easy it is, how very simple and easy it is. So I'm going to be doing some experiments with those this year as well. This year I left the soil in them, and I'm just going to add a couple of some amendments. I'm just going to actually add some amendments, and we'll see. We'll gauge how good they do, okay? And so I wish you success. So Christy says, unpopular truth. What potato variety would be best for storing? Our Kennebecks are already turning soft. Whoa, okay, well, if you're Kennebec, because Kennebecks and Ketadine and German Butterball are some of the best for storing. Also, the Yukon Gold store really well. But the primary thing is that they have to be grown right with the proper nutrients, and they have to be stored in the right way. So if you take them and you just put them into a place where it's exposed to some light and it's exposed to humidity and stuff, too much humidity, then it's going to want to sprout. Primarily the light and the heat. So you have to keep it, think root cellar. It has to be kept in a dark, cool environment with moderate humidity. And then they will last a long time. But also, if they're grown with full-on nutrients, they have to have plenty of the potassiums. And so that is really going to matter a lot. So let's see here. Look, why? What happened to your basement? Yeah, there's it just started flooding. It just started flooding. There's not like a burst pipe or anything, but water is coming up. See, for like the past handful of years, the water has just sort of disappeared into this hole. There's no pump in it or anything. It's just magically disappeared, which has been cool. But recently, all of a sudden, now it's not doing that. In fact, it's doing the opposite. Water is somehow coming out of that hole now. And so we'll see. Let's see. Linnea says, I want to try growing purple Viking potatoes. I've heard they're the best. I want to start growing them too, just simply because of the name. And also, I think it would be cool to have purple potatoes. But man, if you grow the good Ketadine, Kennebec, Yukon Gold, and they're grown in a very rich soil, they are so buttery and delicious that I just can't even, I'm like addicted. I crave them. I mean, it's crazy. See, Aaron says, LOL, sorry to say, but it's kind of funny how you had a long period of, oh, that's convenient. Now, damn. Yeah, I know. It is funny, actually. And I was thinking, because I was kind of like bragging and sometimes, hey, I've got this water absorbing hole in the basement that everything just magically disappears to. Yeah, well, not anymore. And I had no protocol in place for if it wasn't water absorbing. So let's see here. So have you already used real seed potato? Oh yeah, definitely. I've used I've used all different kinds of potatoes. But the best ones are the ones that you grew yourself from the previous year. DB says, I left the dirt in my 15-gallon grow bags and moved them around my blueberry bushes and galvanized tubs as a heat bank. I hope it works. Iowa 4B. Whoa. Yeah, it's probably pretty cold there, huh? Let's flex seal the basement walls and floor to stop water. Yeah, if I just get some of that stuff, whack, just stick it there. Flex seal. Just like the guy in the commercial. I'm sure it works exactly like that. Jeremy says, question, can I use the onion, garlic, chili pepper, mint, and oregano remnants I simmered for 5 hours in my JLF bucket? Yes, you can. If you have limited supply, yes, for sure. Well, yeah, even if you don't have limited supply, yeah, you can put them in the JLF bucket. If it's the one that is for everything, yeah. Especially if it's going to be for garlic and chili peppers and stuff like that. Yes, you can put it in there. And I grew russet potatoes, and they're still really hard. I grew some purple potatoes, and those ones didn't store as well as my russets. Yeah, russets store pretty well. And it really depends if you cure them properly. You want to make sure that the potato totally dies. And watch my video about it because I explain in depth what the energy of the potato vine. So when the potato vine starts to die, it will move all of the life force, the minerals and everything into the skin or into the tuber to give it the best possible chance to then sprout again next year. And so you have to wait all that time till the vines are totally dead and long dead, and then about 2 additional weeks. And then that's going to give you the best protective skin coating on the potato. And that's really what you want. If you harvest them too early, you can almost guarantee that they will not store as long because they haven't had that energy. So if you're harvesting the potatoes and they're still green on the vines, you've cut yourself short. Let's see here. Sending positive vibes. And yeah, guys, this thing, I don't know why I felt like telling you guys about this, but this is called the Skull Crusher. It's by Tops Knives, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I got this years ago when I was living on the mountain, and it is the single most useful tool for outdoorsmanship. I just can't believe. And it's in really rough condition because for 2 years it was lost in the garden. I couldn't believe it. I've had this for maybe 10 years now. And I could build a house with this thing. It's unbelievable. So if you guys are like of the outdoor type and you need a tool for splitting kindling, you can use it like a draw knife for taking the bark off of stuff. You can notch stuff if you're building with wood, just all different kinds of stuff. And it's virtually indestructible. I mean, it was 2 years in the soil and it just has some surface rust and stuff. So yeah, they're kind of expensive, but man, it's the best tool that I've found for this kind of thing. It's right in the basement. And it's on the stairs. Yes, I probably could put a link for it. So you're going to need the Skull Crusher? Yeah, it's awesome. I'll have to find it, but I couldn't recommend it higher than this because I use it. If you had to go to like an island and have one tool, it'd be this. Yeah. But yeah, Skull Crusher from Tops Knives. Where did you buy it? I bought it at a place in Eureka, California. That is, it was called, oh man, I forget the name of it now. I can't believe that I forgot the name because I used to go there all the time. How did you lose a knife like that in the garden? Yeah, I know. Because I was doing deep mulch and I laid a wheelbarrow of mulch over it. And so, yeah, I was ready to go and rent a metal detector. So, been looking for a good garden knife. Yeah, and you can dig with it and stuff. It's not like the harakiri or whatever it is that, you don't want to do too much digging with it, but any kind of chopping and harvesting, it's this part right here that will just lop off anything that you're trying to use or to cut. So Okay, well, we're going to bring it to an end pretty soon. And guys, I want to recommend sweetener for you guys, blackstrap molasses. Don't forget. Okay, so much good minerals. 17 in 1 tablespoon, 17% your daily value of iron, 10% of magnesium. It's got 8% of manganese, calcium, potassium, zinc, 28% your daily value of copper, in just 1 tablespoon of the pure unsulfured blackstrap molasses. And this is all going to be bioavailable, which means that the body knows how to use it. It's not like taking a supplement that was created in some laboratory. The body doesn't know how to use most supplements, but it knows exactly how to use molasses. So it's a really good sweetener, real slow digesting as well for the body. Just wanted to let you know that. So, okay, guys, well, it's been real, but I got to get to, so my dad's here. I got to get to the basement and stuff and work on the flooding. And oh, Carla Crawford says, have you grown your own ginger or turmeric? Yes, I have. And I'm going to be doing a video on it, how to grow ginger in cold climates. And we will be starting, ginger will be the first thing we're starting. We're going to start it in like the end of January. So definitely. And you can just get it from the co-op. So don't worry about that. But yeah, that video will be coming. So have you sending positive vibes? Thank you. Thank you, Deacon. And okay, my friends, well, I will see you same time, same place next week. It will be in the new year, and I wish you all the best new year possible, my friends.